last name.
Yes.
Right? Being the leader, the visionary for your last name. Like, where the Watkins going to be in the year 2080?
Yep.
In the year, 2110, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the Morrison's going to be. So we take on that role as the chief executive officers of our last name, the leaders and visionaries for our family, legacy being so important. And I think our community undervalues legacy. Hence, blow money fast, spend it like it's your last. I'm going to spend it all, I can't take it with me. I say, dumbass, we ain't supposed to take it with you, you're supposed to pass it down. It never was intended for you to take your money with you. It was always designed for you to pass your wealth and your assets down to your heirs. And I think as a community, we just have not relished in, promoted, and really enjoyed that concept of like, yo, what I can leave for my heirs is super dope. And that you should respect someone's family, respect someone's legacy. And you mentioned the Tulsa Fund. And I've been doing my best to stay away from like the recent onslaught of negativity because we're popping now. And whenever we get our momentum, it's always like, oh, you guys are relevant. Let us try to undercut you, undermine you, right? But forget me. You know what disappoints me though? Is my 20-year-old daughter who goes to WashU at St. Louis, one of the top colleges in the country. And my 20-year-old daughter who knows all the good work that we do. We promote respect, dignity, compassion, empathy in our home, all that, honesty, integrity, all that. And my daughter has to see grown-ass people troll her dad about a family company that we own to discredit my wife's integrity and her honor, right? So it's like when black people make comments about our business models, you go through the same thing too. Most of us leaders go through this. But we say silly and frivolous things online, like you're taking a jab at Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm taking a jab at Mr. Jay Morrison. I'm taking a jab at Sean King. I'm taking a jab, but you're disrespecting the whole Watkins legacy and lineage. You're disrespecting the whole Morrison legacy. Like my wife and children got to hear these crazy things you're saying. And if we as a community had a little more respect for each other and a little more regard for each other, and a little more regard for each other's legacy, I could dislike something Dr. Boyce said. You know, my wife has disliked things you said. But my wife knew how to communicate what she disliked about what you said.
Yes, she
with
did.
Respect and with regard. Y'all could disagree with Jay Morrison, the things I say, the way I move, but to make up and to say things to me that are disrespectful, that without regard and without merit, that's when you start to disrespect black man's legacy. And we got to uplift each other's legacy and edify each other's legacy. But at the end of the day, that's all we got.
Well, that's a great point, man. And I think, and I thought about that a lot. It's, when you're dealing with the online world or you have that first experience as a quote unquote public figure, whatever that means, a lot of weird things start to happen, good and bad. And I try to make sense of it. And one of the things that I've concluded for sure is that I just really think in general, any public figure is going to have people that are going to just disagree just to disagree, and then sometimes be downright nasty about it. In China, they have an old saying that says the fattest pig always gets slaughtered, and that's actually one of the reasons why in Chinese culture, they don't try to stand out. They don't want to be, seen as individuals. They, as a collective, they like to be seen as just a group, which is a good and a bad thing, right? But my argument on that too would be that in our community, you have a lot of unhappy people. I remember you mentioning at your event, you said that some of our people are just sick, and so that crabs in a barrel thing, I think, creeps in because sometimes that sickness through the trauma that many of our people have gone through causes them to have more vitriol toward another black person than they would ever have toward white supremacy or racists. Like I've seen black folks talk about other black people. Maybe black folks talk about you, for example, where in a way where I've never seen them talk about a white person that way. Like they don't even talk about Donald Trump that way. So it's kind of like what is it about this? I mean, because the Tulsa Fund is big, but there are bigger businesses out here. There are multi-billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies that are sucking money out of the black community, sucking billions out of the black community every year, and doing it in a truly unethical way. So I'm like, why is it that you can't see all of that, but you see what Tulsa Fund, what the Tulsa Fund is over here building. And I think that a lot of it just comes from the fact that people just get to the point where the misery loves company, or I just don't want to see that Negro succeed. For whatever reason, or because I hate myself. If you're a black man, I'm a black man who hates black people. I think blackness is a terrible negative thing, and it means so many bad. It means that you are incompetent. It means that you are criminal. It means that you're just not a good person, and you're not worthy of whatever. Right? The white man's worthy, but you're not worthy.
I feel I'm not worthy. I reflect that on you.
Boom. There you go. There you go. Right. So you get to that whole, who does that nigga think he is? Like that's what what do you mean a king? You ain't no king. You's a nigga, and so what I've learned, man, to be straight up about it, and you probably processed this already because you and I share just we have great conversations, man, when we talk in private for sure.
Every time.
Yeah, man, but what I figured out is this. I really believe that you're so good at what you do, and I think I'm pretty good at what I do. That if you keep moving forward, all that stuff kind of drowns out. It really does. Like I'll look at the comments, and there'll be 99 comments that are very favorable, but inspirational, and then there'll be that one person who needs a little therapy, and that one person doesn't deserve my attention. The other 99 do, and that's my policy on all of that.
Right. Now I agree with you, right? And I always hear that, right? We always say that, like, and I agree. We got to pour more to the people that support us than the others. And then we don't even know that the people that are commenting are even real people. They could be robots. They could be paid trolls. Yeah. They could be an 11-year-old kid saying you're a scam, but 11-year-old kids with an adult picture, right? We don't even really know. So I don't get sucked into that. But for the people that are real people, it's sad. We talk about Tulsa Real Estate Fund, our company, right? This is our company. This is our business. This is me, you, and over 9,700 people. Our company for our children. And I say people love to, and when you're a black man in a financial space, such as you've been for even years before me, in a financial space, one of the dirtiest words you can use is scam and fraud, right? People always, it's the easiest word to discredit somebody, say, Jay Morrison is a scam, right? Although Jay Morrison has clear audits on his SEC of all the financials of Tulsa Real Estate Fund. You can see the audit of all the financials. Although Jay Morrison has clear assets, we can show that we developed and built under the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, and now we own every dollar accounted for. But it's, I think the upsetting part is the fact that we're in last place. It's one, my family legacy that disturbs me. I hate that my wife has to go through and see it. And her feelings her moods have to be disrupted in my children because of what self-hating, confused, or sick other black folks gotta say. I'm cool, bro. Like, I done been to the streets, I done been to prison, I done been to bankruptcy, I done been to poor, I done been to all of that. I'm cool. I'm not tripping. But my wife's feelings and mood shouldn't have to be deterred by what someone's saying about her husband and she wants to defend her king. Or my children shouldn't feel like that. Then our investment partners or my staff, y'all talking about 30 other mostly black people that we've hired who are supporting this, who y'all are disrespecting the business they go to work for every single day, and that their kids and their families got to see. That's a lack of respect for black excellence, for black power, for the power of the black dollars, for us to have raised over $8.5 billion with 9,700 equity partners, no GoFundMe, no collection plate, no donations. And went out and developed real estate, bought apartment complexes, funded minority developers, on pace for a ROI, dividends distribution, all that, and have the largest act of group economics since Marcus Garvey, in our community, since Marcus Garvey and the UNIA in the last 100 years, our fund. And for you to have any kind of hate sauce on that, that's like as whack as you can get as a black person. Like, what more do you want? If we haven't practiced group economics in the last 100 years in this capacity, factually, right? There's no dispute to that. Because nobody can come up with another movement that offered equity and ownership within the movement and have raised more than $8.5 billion, or the equivalent of, from as many people as 9,700 plus people that was black owned. There's not one company that exists in the last 100 years that any of us can name. And for us, me, you, and everyone else that contributed to have done that, that should be not me, not Jay Morrison. Take the man out of it. Like I said, take the individual out of it. Take the fact that I'm swaggy and I'm rich. Take that out of it. I said that nigga mad. But take that out of it. No poking aside. That should be something as a whole that we all should be proud of. That, man, look at us actually economically united. Look at us show the power of black dollars. And bigger, which I'm typing in my thing when I finish talking, because you're going to go, but bigger than that, tomorrow, guys, we're having a forum, thepoweroftheblackdollar.com, Dr. Boyce Watkins, myself, Earn Your Leisure, Julian Gordon. I mean, some of the brightest economic minds in our community. We're having a free forum tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Thepoweroftheblackdollar.com, I'm about to post it and pin it. But it's bigger than Treff. It's bigger than Jay. If we can prove economic unity on one fund, what does that say, Dr. Boyce, when we say it's time to do a black bank? When it's time to do a black media company? When it's time to do a black hospital? When it's time to do a black school? Yep. We already proved the model with Treff. Let's take the same system, take the same operations, let's tweak what we see might have went wrong, could have been better, because it was the first, or the pioneers, the trailblazer wasn't perfect. And now we proved the unity, so we ain't got to have that whole, we can't do business together. No, we actually can. We're proving it.
Yes.
And now let's get past the bullshit and let's do more.
Yes.
And let's build more. And that's what the whole concept of the power of the black dollar is about. But I just want to hear your thoughts on that. Expound, do what you do as I put this.
No, I think that everything you're saying is absolutely correct. When I hear you talk, I think about over 100 years ago, China wasn't the country that it is now. Right now China is one of the great economic powerhouses, of the planet. 100 years ago, it wasn't like that. And they had a lot of issues. They had a lot of ridiculous, stuff going on, a lot of infighting, a lot of people hooked on opium, stuff like that. And basically what occurred was you had a group of leaders that stepped up and basically said, we're going to get this out of our community. They told the British, you can't sell your opium here anymore. We're not going to allow that. So the problem was they had two enemies. They had to fight the British, who were mad because they were so used to making money off the Chinese and giving nothing back. And then they had to fight their own people. They had to fight the addicts, and they got pretty ruthless. They got to the point where they said, look, if you mess with that stuff or you selling that stuff, we're going to kill you. We're just going to get rid. You will be executed. Now, I'm not saying we should execute people or anything like that. But what I am saying, though, is that it had it not been for the courage and persistence of those individuals that saw a better vision for their people, China wouldn't be the powerhouse that it is right now. China used to be a joke. Now they're not a joke anymore. And so I think that for our community, I think that we have to understand that the level of progress that you're talking about, the level of progress that I believe we're making in the Black Business School and the other things that we're doing, these battles are not for the faint of heart. These are not easy, simple, processes. These are nasty dog fights. These are wars. We're at war, and every day, at least I get up every day in my mind, I know I'm prepared for battle. Every day I'm prepared for battle. And then the people around me, I try to prepare them too. My woman, I wouldn't have picked that woman if she wasn't ready for battle. I let her know. I said, look, babe, I proposed to you. We shared the video online. 800,000 people watched the video. Are you okay with that? And she's she's like, fine. She's ready. She's ready to ride with me. And so even the way I picked the woman that I would have next to me was driven by whether or not you can stand in this environment. Can you stand the heat? Like the New Edition said, baby, tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? Right. Because if she couldn't stand the rain, then she shouldn't be here. Right. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that, it's when you're talking about dealing with the challenges of our community, I think everybody in here should identify with this because you got this in your own family. You got the people in your family that are telling you that investing is stupid, that starting your own business is ridiculous, that you can't do it. And that's just their inferiority talking. That's their white supremacy talking. Like we think only white people can be white supremacists. That's not true. There are lots of black people that are white supremacists. They will believe in a second that a white man can do something that a black man can't. It would not surprise them if I tell them about 50 white men who started billion-dollar funds, but they won't believe me when I tell them that one black man started an $8.5 million fund. They're like, no, Negroes can't do that, right? You know, so to me, it's kind of like, you know, it's okay. When you talk about, you know, sort of dealing with this, my argument is that, you know, I eventually stopped looking outward and I started turning inward. And I just, you know, stood on this idea, like they say in the Bible, forgive them for they know not what they do. I believe that basically the community needs a continuous stream of really empowered, really committed, really dedicated leadership. A lot of people need that in their own family. And what I mean by that is somebody in that crew who just says, this is what's going to happen. This is what it's going to do. This is how it's going to be. You know, if you don't like it, we will knock you out of the way. We will ignore you, whatever it takes. So the haters can hate, like hate as much as you want, but this train ain't gonna stop. There will never be a day where I'm healthy and alive, where you won't see me get up, do what I do, and do it the exact same way I did it yesterday. So if you want to hate on that, please do. I invite you to do so. But at the end of the day, this train ain't stopping. We got one shot at this. Like, to me, this is a beautiful time in Black history. You yourself, I'm part of it. A lot of us, man, we are making Black history right now. This is the Black economic revolution that our people are going to be talking about 150 years from now. So we got to get this right, which means we can't blink, we can't stutter, we can't slow down, we can't get distracted. We got to keep that train going. So I'm in with both feet, point blank, period.
You know what? You reminded me of. You always say this to me, and I think this is. That's why I love building with you, man. I'm telling you, we just whatever. I am getting set, but we have to align more and align better. That is the missing link. So we can edify and empower each other, but we are locked in on me. You know that we align. You know you can call me. I know I can call you.
Yep.
But does the world know that Dr. Boyce stands with me? That Speaker Mallory stands with me? That this one stands with me? Whoever, like that we stand together. I know with me. I stand with them. And so I think from our economic prowess, the Black Business School, Jay Morrison Academy, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, all different ventures, right? All the movie projects you're doing. I think the missing element, we talked about in China, you said the leaders, the powerful leaders got together. Now, we got together a little bit, like you economically invested heavy in the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. So did many others. But I don't think we've been intentional enough, and I meant to do this, and I dropped the ball. We haven't been intentional of aligning an alliance of Black wealth professionals, of Black entrepreneurs, of Black millionaires, of Black liberators, economic liberators, who have all said, all right, we got some core values, we got some standards, we got some ways that we move and don't move in public. These are the core values of being part of this group. But we're all going to align, and we going to make sure we lock arms and we push this thing forward, because no one of us can do it by ourselves, on how brilliant we are.
Yes.
And I think we have not, maybe it exists, I just don't know about it, but I'm trying to think, where is that group? Where is that group of Black, that unified Black economic empowerment, whatever you want to call it, where is that group where we meet monthly or quarterly? You know what I mean? We have our regimen, Anglo Johnny come lately, you got a resume, you actually did some shit, you made some shit, you tried, you're tested, you got a proven body of work in the community, right? You stand up, you're unapologetically Black, all those things. Where if we had that economic empowerment group, just 10 of us, that group aligned and full-fledged ahead. I have these conversations privately all the time. One-on-one conversations, but we don't all get on a FaceTime or Zoom together and plot and plan and really so I think that is one of the missing elements. I want to build on that tomorrow. I want to invite everybody again to poweroftheblackdollar.com, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, totally free. It's a community forum. Dr. Boyce, Ernie Leisure, Julian Gordon, myself. Excuse me, we're going to be building how we build wealth after the crisis. And I think during this pandemic quarantine time, Dr. Boyce, while we got all the time in our hands, this might be the time to make that list of who are economic leaders that we relate to, that we respect, that have track records, that do the work, that been on the front line of their freedom, their reputation, all that for the community. And if we aligned and have this unified alliance, it will make all of us stronger, it will make our voices stronger, and it will make those who try to diminish our work, it will make them totally obsolete against any of our movements.
Oh, I'm in complete agreement with that. I think that's a natural progression in terms of what we're doing, and I think that what's here's one of the ideas I want to leave everybody with for sure is what we really need in terms of pulling that together to supplement that is what I call the great redirect. Now, let me explain. Black people have we know Black folks have 1.3 trillion in income, spending power, investing power, all that stuff. And we know what happens to most of that 1.3 trillion. Poof, it's gone. You know, is other people are coming in and scooping up bags of money in black neighborhoods everywhere. You know, whether it's hair and nail salons, corner stores, universities. A lot of universities are taking billions of dollars from Black families and leaving them in debt. They're dying in debt like sharecroppers. Even though you're a sharecropper with a degree. We know this, right? I think that when you're talking about, and I talked to Julian Gordon about this yesterday, he showed me this list of all these great Black professionals that could teach you everything from the stuff with real estate to starting an online business to stock market investing and everything else. And I said, this really, when I look at this, if I have a child and I want my child to be educated, at least in business, I don't need to go send them to a university where they're going to go deep in debt. I send them to Black people. Right, Black professionals who really have that track record, and it doesn't just apply just to that. I mean, you talk about what We Buy Black is doing in terms of supplying all those household goods that we normally get from other communities. Like ultimately, I think that in this generation, I mean, don't get me wrong, I support the reparations and all that stuff. I think we should go for that if that's available. But I think an even better reparations plan, what I actually call real reparations, not fake reparations, but I'm talking about real reparations, like a real amount of money that's going to really move the needle, is for us to say, okay, out of this 1.3 trillion, how do we maybe redirect 10, 20% of that 1.3 trillion to where it's being spent in our community? The things that we used to buy out there, we start buying in here. Now think about this. 10% of that is 120 billion. 20% of that is $250 billion. $250 billion, not one time, but per year. Now, $250 billion creates hundreds of billionaires, thousands of millionaires, thousands of jobs right here in the community. So it's like this nice little tango that has to occur between the Black producers and Black consumers, where the consumers have the mandate to buy Black whenever possible, but the producers have the mandate to produce the products, goods, and services that Black consumers need. And then you get that money circulating within the community, and then we all become stronger as a result.
I love the fact that is the ecosystem. We both, I know, respect Dr. Claude Anderson, that Powernomics model. But I love what you said about it creating jobs, but also supporting entrepreneurship, building Black wealth, creating thousandaires and millionaires, even billionaires out of that $120 trillion. Yep. And it's really having our own commerce. It's our own commerce ecosystem at the end of the day. And it's about how we organize that. And I believe that doesn't happen unless the thought leaders such as yourself, the architects, can architect that blueprint and create a model of how we realize that in real life, right? It's the same thing in 2015, and we're going to wrap in a second because we know we got a webinar tomorrow. We got Friday nights with Queens. I smell some fit over here right now. But let's check it out. 2015, I'm on a panel with Tamika Mallory, my Solana General, Mark Lamont Hill, Cousin Jeff. It's after Freddie Gray. BET bust a busload of Bloods and Crips to New York City to the BET studios to talk about solutions for Baltimore after the Freddie Gray uprising. In the crowd, one of the Bloods or Crips says, Cousin Jeff asked, or Brother Jeff, however he goes, said, what's one of the solutions y'all think for the community? One of the Baltimore kings said, we need to go to Black Wall Street, yo. I said, on the panel, I said, anybody want to practice group economics, go to Black Wall Street, come see me after the panel. I'm working on something. At that time, I think after doing the research on how do we actually pull our dollars together, because that shit sound cool to pull our dollars together and build a Black Wall Street, but what's that actually look like from a practical action step perspective? That's when I started doing the research and development and ran across the Jobs Act, the Reg A Tier 2 fund, and the opportunity for non-accredited investors and accredited investors to invest in one fund. And I secured the attorney in the company and started building a Tulsa real estate fund. The idea was birthed in 2015. But I was intentional about walking down and reverse engineering and executing a solution for a Black Wall Street model, a collaborative economic unity model, and then putting an actual corporate infrastructure, company infrastructure to that, and the business flows, and all the other compliance, treasury, analytics, right, business model, and all that to make that happen in real life to where we launched June 1st of 2018. So it took 3 years to actually bring that thought of building Black Wall Street, pull our dollars together to life. So I'm saying, that's the same thing we got to do with what you're saying makes sense. So we recognize what you just said makes sense.
Yes.
We try to get in the think tank, and we'll talk about tomorrow during the powerofblackdollar.com. How do we reverse engineer that model, what you just said? Because it's doable.
Yes,
because
it is.
3 years ago or 5 years ago in 2015, minus 20 years, 5 years ago, I thought of the idea of raising capital together. 5 years it took to get to this point of 8.5 million, 9,700 investors. If I were to tell somebody in that panel, yo, by 2020, we're going to have 8.5 million, a black house, 30,000 square feet on 2.6 acres, 2 miles top area studio, a 98-unit apartment complex, 20 units student housing, 14 units in Lake Charles, Indiana, 6, you know what I mean? If I told you all that 5 years ago, you'd be like, man, you tripping. Ain't nobody spending that much money doing that. So 5 years from now, in 2025, can we say we watched the Dr. Boyce and Jay Morrison live on April 17th before the poweroftheblackdollar.com, and Dr. Boyce brought an idea of a comprehensive black commerce ecosystem, and 5 years from now, we went to work and we actually walked that shit out. I love it.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm inspired, man. I think this is going to be amazing. I'm just honored to be able to be a part of this. And I think, and last thing I'll say on this, man, is I think that all the people that are listening, the fact that you're listening to us means a lot, right? Because I remember when I first started talking about wealth and money and all that, a lot of folks didn't want to hear that. It was a process of getting us to this point. But I think the community's ready for that. And really, when you talk about building an economy, you need 3 C's for an economy. You need a market for capital, a market for contractors, and a market for customers. You need the producers, consumers, where products are being sold. You need a labor market where people can get jobs and people can do hiring. And you also need banks. You need basically a funding source, right? And you know all about that, right? So by doing that, you can create all kinds of economic models that work on a small scale and a larger scale. And I think for us as Black people, the most important component is that we have to be able to do this without unnecessary interference or control from other people. It doesn't mean we tell everyone they can't be involved, but it does mean that we have to have our independence, because the biggest thing Black folks want in general that I found is freedom. We just tired of being slaves. And I know I am. So it's great to be free with you, brother. But without people like yourself, I don't know what I would do, man. I mean, I feel much more secure knowing that I can pick up the phone and call someone like yourself, and you will understand my plight. And neither one of us are scared of being Black. So God bless you, man. I look forward to being on the panel tomorrow.
Yeah, love. And I want to say to you, King, I was in that point about freedom. I talked with Sean King this week. He said, many of us love the idea of freedom. We're in love with the idea of freedom. We're in love with the idea of change more than we're in love with the actual work it takes to make change and have freedom. We love the concept of freedom, but are we willing to actually make the sacrifices? Are we in love with the sacrifices it takes to have freedom? We love the idea of it, though. Are you willing to actually make that move to bust off the plantation? And I want to salute you, because before I was called to do this work in 2012, and coming up, empowering, inspiring, economically giving my gifts, you are a trailblazer in this economic revolution for our people. You are a king of kings in this movement. I know you're humble about it, but I'm going to salute you. I'm going to edify you, because you deserve it.
Thank you.
You've taken darts and shots for us, for me, and for my family, and for so many others. I don't think people really recognize the level of what I know that, you endure, and you consistently endure, you committed to endure for not only your own liberation, but for our liberation. So I salute you. Always a pleasure to do business with you and to break bread and just talk and build with you. Everyone, tomorrow, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Earn Your Leisure Podcast, Julian Gordon, multifamily specialist, the poweroftheblackdollar.com, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Mark that in your calendars like you do your Netflix, like you record your shows. This is Black empowerment, economic revolution at its best.
Yes.
We want to invite you to be part of our fund, our company, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. We're not closing, but it's our final capital raise, April 29th at midnight. The final chance to be part of this historic company and own your shares of our company in the multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio that we own together. TulsaRealEstateFund.com for that. We want to invite you on off the plantation into some form of liberation and ownership.
All right, brother.
Enjoy your night.
You too, man. No doubt, homeboy. See you tomorrow, brother. All right. Peace. All right, everybody. That was Jay Morrison, as you guys heard. We were on Instagram together. I just thought you guys might want to listen in. Were you guys able to hear that? Let me know. Give me a yes or no if you're able to hear Jay and I talking. Yeah, but he's right about that part about us being in love with freedom, but not ready to pay the price. Like, I'm in love with the idea of having a flat stomach, but I do not enjoy running those damn miles. Elisa's gonna have me running. I gotta go and go run right now. So you able to hear? Okay, good. I just thought that it would be fun to just record our conversation. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I'm about to get on out of here. Alicia's waiting for me. We're about to go and put in this run. I saw this documentary last night about diabetes, man, and buddy. It blew my mind. It was on PBS, I believe, and they were talking about how many people, just the extreme spike in diabetes and all the bad things that can happen, and how many people are dying from it. And I encourage you just to look into it, because, as you guys know, it affects our people more than anybody else. And a lot of it is just environment, just what you grow up eating, what they market to you. Studies show that they market the unhealthy food to Black folks. And so, you guys know where my position is on all this Corona stuff. I'm not scared. I don't wear a mask when I go to the grocery store, none of that, because there's no new cases in my town. Like, literally this week they had 0 new cases. I think the state of Indiana has 0 new cases over the last 24 hours. So I'm not scared of that, but stuff like diabetes, that makes me nervous, for all of our people. Also, heart disease. You have maybe a 1 in 25,000 chance of dying from Corona, but you have a 1 in 6 chance of dying from heart disease. So if you want to know why I'm determined to get up and go run and do what I got to do, it's because, it doesn't mean these things can't affect us all, but I'm gonna try my best to not go out like that. So anyway, Jason, send an email to support@theblackbusinessschool.com. I don't do a lot of one-on-one meetings. I have students in the business school who actually have to pay for that. So that's kind of what it is, to be honest with you. Corey, please still protect yourself, Boyce. Yeah, I do. I do, but I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not going to be scared to talk to people. I've been talking to people, shaking hands, hugging people for years. I'm not going to stop. I'll just take my chances. Like I said, the chances of catching the virus are very low. And then even if you catch it, you're going to recover most likely. Like, the odds of not recovering are very low. But they misconstrue all that in media. So they'll tell you one story. Like, I went to USA Today and they had one story about one couple that was affected by it. And I don't like that. I think statistics are what people need. People need facts and data. They don't need just one story that's going to scare the hell out of them. I just don't think that's ethical. And I hate the fact that it's become such a political conversation. Like, why does it have to be about politics? Why do all the Democrats think we should never open up the country again, or we should wait, another year or 6 weeks or whatever? And why are the Republicans all saying we should open the country up? I think neither one of them are listening to the data. Both of them are listening to their politics. And I don't think that's the way to make a decision like this. So that's my 2 cents. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.